It's John Ruskin, the Victorian collector and writer, who described collecting manuscript illumination as interesting as art. Great painters like Lorenzo Monaco, Simon Benning, these were illuminators and they were panel painters. Simon Benning is described as the last great Flemish illuminator. He's actually contemporary with the painter Peter Bruegel the Elder, and they're both known for their incredible attention to minute detail. At the same time as Simon Benning, in Italy, in the north, there's an artist called the Master B.F. He's called this because he signs a miniature in the Morgan B.F. We could call him, though, the Leonardo of manuscript illumination. Look at his horses. They're inspired by Leonardo's drawings of horses. And his St. John the Baptist is a grown-up version of Leonardo's baby John. Another major painter who influenced Italian illuminators is Giotto. Nero, a 14th century artist from Bologna, must have looked at Giotto's frescoes because look at his figures, how plastic they are. Most Italian illuminators did not sign their names. They were craftsmen. But look at this artist, the master of the Archimbaldi Missal. His art is highly skilled. The miniature of St. George and the Dragon is in pristine condition. It is interesting for its art. Most surviving manuscript illumination is in so much better condition than paintings of the same period. They survived mostly inside books. They never saw the light of day. They are like they were when they were first painted. This is a field where there really aren't fakes and forgeries. It's so labor-intensive and expensive. Think about it. You have to kill the animal, scrape the animal's fur off, go and buy and grind up the expensive lapis lazuli, burnish the gold leaf with the tooth of a dog. I mean, there aren't. But there's one artist, the Spanish forger he's called. He works in Paris around 1900, and he painted pictures sort of inspired by the Middle Ages. Look at this Rebecca at the well. Comes from the book of Genesis, but there is no handsome knight approaching Rebecca in Genesis to give her beautiful gold and gemmed jewelry as there is in this painting. The Spanish forger is recognizable by style, but also through chemical analysis. And look at the cleavage of his women. I mean, the Middle Ages didn't paint women that way. He's the only forger I know of who's had a one-man show at the Morgan Library, no less. And there's a book written on him. He too is collectible. His material is interesting as art. These miniatures are interesting in art, not just for what they represent, the scenes, but you get immersed in the technique, the glittering gold, the reflection, the very intricate construction of the compositions. You know, medieval illuminators, they painted with a single hair of a brush. You can blow up a medieval miniature 1,000 times and it still retains the detail. I can stand in front of a miniature for much longer than I can in front of a panel painting. It requires for me, a different viewing experience. These are features that make them interesting as art.